Originally, there are four tenets of hip hop. Four, not one, not something that you think is there. There were four: graffiti, DJing, breakdancing, MC. Then, when you bring in the fifth pillar, which is knowledge, and guess what? Knowledge is the one that is mostly forgotten. People look at breakdancing and go, oh, that's played. Why is it played? Who played it out? Why isn't it something that is significant to the culture of hip hop? Why is it something that can be played out? Because guess what? In all these international countries, excuse me, that celebrate and understand what hip hop is and what hip hop was to them, breakdancing is very much still alive in 2026. And to hear Jay-Z, somebody who's made millions of dollars, made his whole fortune on hip hop, for him to sit there and say something like that, for people to act like, okay, so I'm gonna do something real cool for y'all right now. For America, breakdancing became hip hop dance. So every generation is still doing something hip hop related. I mean, what do you think House Party was? They weren't breakdancing, but they were still getting down. What are those dance steps? Come on. Like, you go to NBA games now. What are the dance teams doing? Hip hop dances. They're repping our culture. Say thank you. Graffiti writing became fashion because we had no clothes back then of our own. And then after a while, we started drawing on them. And there was even a phase where we were doing graffiti on like jean jackets and stuff, and jeans, big baggy jeans, rocking our self expression our way. And then that paved its way to Fat Farm and Ichi and all these other brands, Fubu and everything else, that now put a stylistic apparel to the culture that still had the birth of it still had the connections to graffiti that within the fashion. And so to me, that's still there. It didn't even evolve. It just, well, it did. It evolved a bit. But again, if you go to like Italy, you go to Germany, you go overseas, you still see graffiti writing, and it's beautiful. So in the day, in in America, we have quote unquote DJs now that have no idea how to scratch and are actually opposed to it. Y'all dudes just spin records. Y'all are not DJs. Cut that out. Y'all press buttons with all this equipment to make life so much easier for you so you could just walk into somebody's culture and do it in 5 minutes. Y'all are posers. Y'all are not that. Come on. Go, get your job. Do your thing. Do your corporate events. Play playlists. But you're not a DJ. You're not a hip hop DJ. I'll leave it at that. And that's fine. It's fine. I'm not disrespecting you. But do yourself a favor. Don't disrespect our culture. Don't come into this half-assed like Kanye did. Use it for your own purposes and then crap on it. No, we ain't got time for that no more. The days of those taking advantage of our culture and the days of those coming in because it's the new hustle. I'm glad all of that's gone. We never needed it. And we never needed it. Yeah, I'm talking. And this is your main man, Fahim, aka the Dark Knight, in the building, talking to y'all about my culture of hip hop.